Well, I want to welcome you to part 2 of our IEP Tips to Equip on IEP requirements for students whose behavior impedes learning. In part 1, we talked about the FBA, or the Functional Behavior Assessment, what that is and when that's appropriate to be conducted. And now we're going to look at the BIP, or the Behavior Intervention Plan, which is the plan that follows the Functional Behavior Assessment. So what is a BIP, or Behavior Intervention Plan? Well, it's a plan designed to teach and reinforce positive behavior. So a BIP should be individualized, it should be positive, and consistent with the child's needs, abilities, and skills. Now, the steps of completion of a behavior intervention plan can be done through the FBA, or Functional Behavior Assessment, that we talked about last time, in order to identify the problem behavior that needs to be changed, to collect data to measure the behavior, determine the reason behind the behavior, and to teach the new alternative behavior. So a behavior intervention plan may include strategies to replace problem behaviors with appropriate behaviors. It can include supports for the child to use the appropriate behavior skills training to increase appropriate behavior, and it can involve changes in the classroom and other environments to reduce or eliminate problem behaviors. IEP Tip to Equip number 4. Use an expert in behavior to complete this BIP. The first part of writing the BIP is the goal, what you want the child to accomplish. But the hard part is, how do you prevent the behavior or reduce the behavior or even substitute something else for the behavior? And that's where expertise comes in. So consider using a behavior specialist, a school psychologist, or someone who has expertise in this area. So let's talk about the content requirements of BIPs. Well, the IDEA, the law we operate under, isn't very specific, but usually all BIPs contain a description of the behavior that's interfering with the student's learning or the learning of others, what we expect for behavioral changes, and a listing of these positive strategies and supports that are going to be used to hopefully modify or change that behavior. IEP Tip to Equip number 5. Don't put negative consequences in the BIP. Again, the law describes the BIP as positive behavior strategies, supports, and interventions. So don't put negative consequences in the BIP. They should be in the Code of Conduct where they belong. BIPs do not replace the Code of Conduct. So don't put something in the BIP like, Mary won't fill in the blank, or she'll be subject to discipline. And don't have them sign a behavior contract, because that's more of a regular education tool rather than a special education service. And don't put physical restraints in a BIP. That's not a positive behavior intervention. We only use those physical restraints when we're in an emergency situation because someone's about to get hurt. And also don't put law enforcement in a behavior intervention plan. Your principal or vice principal have this authority anyways, and it's not a positive behavior intervention. IEP Tip to Equip number 6. Don't put too much information in the BIP. Don't overload the BIP. You have to have enough information so the team can follow the plan, but one easy way to violate the law is to put too much specific information in the BIP and then not follow through. So stay on top of this with the teachers and the staff that are going to be implementing this BIP. IEP Tip to Equip number 7, monitor progress. Remember, the courts are more interested in the facts than conclusions. So you have to have data to support that the child is making adequate progress on your behavior goals, if that's in fact the case. Monitor for progress. If the behaviors continue at the same rate and intensity, then the BIP is probably not working. And in that case, revise the behavior plan or possibly conduct more assessments, another FBA, for example, to gather the necessary information regarding the behavior. If the strategies in the BIP are not working, an assessment will help determine how to modify the plan. So the IEP team should review data on the effectiveness of different strategies to ensure they select appropriate interventions for the child. So that concludes our discussion on IEP requirements for students whose behavior impedes learning. Sign up for our newsletter at iepsolution.com, and we'll keep you apprised as to upcoming IEP Tips to Equip videos, as well as live workshops and boot camps. And we'll delve into topics such as this in much more detail, as well as other important special education topics. Thank you for watching this IEP Tips to Equip video.